welcome to the Tammy and Chana show.
Hi guys.
I'm so glad to be back with you guys again. Today we are going to talk about miracles. I have experienced so many miracles and I feel like they need to be shared with people because it gives people hope. It makes people more aware of their surroundings. I feel like I've been a messenger in a lot of situations in my life where God has used me as a vessel to share a miracle or a message to someone that desperately needed to hear it, that changed their life.
Yeah, the more I talk with Tammy, the more things that I considered coincidences I discovered were little mini miracles along the way, things that kind of got placed into our path that I feel there is a definite reason and it was a sign for us to keep going. And I think the only difference is that I wasn't aware of it before. I think those things were always around me, but I just wasn't tapped in or tuned into it somehow, so I wasn't sure. I just couldn't see it. It's kind of like when you get a prescription. Like whenever I upgrade my glasses prescription and I try on my new glasses, I'm always like, whoa, like I was blind as a bat. And that's how I feel with awakenings and with this healing energy work and with being tuned into God and all the stuff that we're into. Is like every time I learn something new, I'm like, oh my God, now look at how much I can see and how much I pay attention. And I think it's because we clear the clutter. So we're going to share some of the stories that we've discovered,
that we've witnessed,
yes. And things that have happened to us as well. So Tammy, why don't you start with some of your miracles?
Okay. So a couple years ago, I was at Walmart with one of my daughters getting school supplies. And that's always been a huge stressor for me because at one point I had 5 kids that I needed to purchase back to school clothes, all of the paperwork, all of the things, the backpacks, all of that stuff. And I was like, oh God, how am I going to do all of this? And somehow it always happened. But since I started my business, I've been very grateful for not having to worry about that so much. So I was there with my daughter. We were picking up supplies, laughing and having a great time. And there was this woman talking to her little boy, and I overheard the conversation. And she's like, honey, I can only afford to get half of your list today because I need to wait to get paid next week. So I heard that, and I literally felt God's hand on my back, like pushing me. He's like, you know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. And I got goosebumps, and I'm like, oh, crap. Okay, I know I need to give her some money. I don't know how I'm going to do this without stepping on her toes or offending her maybe, but it didn't matter how she responded. I just know I needed to do it. So I literally just grabbed some money out of my wallet, and my daughter was standing next to me, and she's watching this whole experience, and this woman started walking. I'm like, hold on. I said, I just overheard your conversation. I said, I feel like I need to gift you this money to buy your son's school supplies, the rest of them. I said, just go and take care of this. Everything's going to be okay. And she looked at me in disbelief, and I just said, just say thank you. And she's just like, thank you. And I walked away, and I was so emotional. I started crying. I'm like, because the ripple effect that created in that situation, God's like you did the right thing, kind of a thing. I was crying because I know what it felt like to be in her shoes. I know how I would have felt if somebody would have done that for me. Her little boy seen it, my daughter seen it. The story that she probably told somebody else. Like, I just walked away. I just said, just say thank you. She's just like, thank you. I walked away, didn't say another word. I have no clue who she was. It didn't matter. It was just the ripple effect of love and just giving her hope in humanity again.
Amazing. And I bet she still tells that story today.
I know. It gives me goosebumps talking about it.
Yeah, it gave me goosebumps too, and I wanted to cry because I know it's probably something that they'll tell for the rest of their lives. The one time we were shopping and a lady at Walmart paid for our stuff. I mean, it's huge. One of the things that just came to me while we were talking, I think I told Tammy about this last week when we were gabbing, was about the time when John was fired. You guys know from our episode 1 that the whole reason my brand came to be was because of my husband getting fired from his full-time job. We were trying to decide what to do with our lives. There was 2 choices. There was move back to Wisconsin, to Cumberland, Wisconsin, where I had grown up at my grandparents' farm, start a whole new life, be different people. Or stay in the cities, get another job, which would have taken him 5 minutes because it's the cities, Twin Cities, and continue on the path that we were going and just figure it out. And we needed $800. That's how much money we needed for not a down payment, the first months of rent at this rental home that my dad had found for us. We needed $800 security deposit, and we didn't have it. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? And I'm not kidding. The next morning we woke up. There was an envelope that got slipped under our door by the mailman. He must have forgotten it because it wasn't in our mailbox. And we opened up the envelope, and it was a check for $800. $800 on the nose, which was exactly what we needed. And it was a check from when John was in college. He was a part of some random class action lawsuit that it was, I don't even know what it was, but he was 22 years old and he signed the paper and it said, someday if this lawsuit gets settled, you're all going to get some money. Well, it was 10, 12 years later when it finally got settled. Wow. On the day that we had to be out of our apartment and figure out what we were going to do with our life. So my point too earlier when talking about how you notice these signs, that was the first time I started to pay attention to signs. That was the first time that I didn't really talk like this. This wasn't my language at the time, but I said to my husband, God, this feels like something. Like this is not a coincidence.
Mm-hmm. Total miracle.
Yeah, it was. And so then we were like, okay, we're going to move to Wisconsin. And then that's what led me to this life that we have now, which I never ever saw coming. Like this was not even in the plan. I had no dreams for my business or anything. We just wanted to live a happy life, and thankfully we paid attention to that, because if we weren't, we could have just put that money in the account and said, okay, let's just stay here. And that was cool that we got $800.
And I'll bet you this was the best thing that happened to you
ever. Ever. I am my most true self, my most authentic that I've ever been, and it just every year gets better because every year I commit myself to growing and self-improvement. But yeah, who we are now is light years beyond who we were then and who we even thought we could be. So yeah, and it's brought me Tammy and all sorts of amazing healers and people in my life, and there's tons more stories like that we could share, but I think it's important for you guys just to start paying attention. I think that's the biggest key. And when you stay in a place of gratitude,
miracles happen every day.
Yeah.
I wake up in the morning. I am grateful for another day to make a difference in people's lives. I am just say, God, use me as a vessel. Whatever needs to happen, and please show me all the miracles, because that makes my day. It's just like, oh, thank you. Thank you for these miracles. That's why I do what I do.
Yeah. And you don't have to be a healer or even anything like what we do to make someone's day. You could be
to be a good person
at the DMV. Yes. You could have a job at Walmart. You could have a job doing, road construction. The point is, when you treat people with kindness and you evoke that kind of energy, like what she explained, it has a ripple effect. Being kind to somebody in line at Dollar General, telling them you like their bag or their hair looks pretty, or asking how they're doing, especially now when we're all like this.
Right.
Just reminding people, like, we're all still humans in here. Everybody could use a little kindness. And I think when you start with gratitude in your day and just be thankful, like, just that you can be healthy enough to wake up. Because Tammy heals people that have cancer and all sorts of things that, our little gripes can be, that person would want. You know what I mean? Right. So gratitude is where it starts. And then just being aware of these little amazing miracles, coincidences, whatever you want to call them, that come along your path. So we hope that brightens your guys' day today. That's something we felt guided to share with you. And we will be back with another lesson or story, soon.
Yep. Have a great day.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.